Hi guys, today we're going to take an in-depth look at a woman who has dominated Hollywood by using, well, just her face, Gal Gadot. Now, who is Gal Gadot, you might ask, if you've been living under a rock? She's a model, a former Miss Israel, an action star. The woman is so stunning, she makes Helen of Troy look like a potato in comparison. The woman is undeniably, mind-numbingly beautiful. So beautiful, in fact, that you almost don't notice that she has the emotional range of a spoon. So beautiful that directors forgot to check if she could actually act, and by the end of the audition, it was too late. The cameras were already in love. In every one of her roles, in almost all of her movies, in my opinion, she delivers every line like she's reading off a teleprompter taped to a wall across the street in a language that she doesn't speak. And her range, you might ask? Well, let's just say that she can convincingly play anything from confused to mildly confused. I think she's really good at giving the "who farted in this room" face. Watching Gadot try to build tension in any scene that she's in is like watching a cat try to use chopsticks. Adorable effort, but zero success. She could be standing in front of a burning building with her missing child and still look like she's trying to remember where she parked. Seriously, I've seen IKEA instructions with more emotional nuances than her entire filmography. Every time she delivers a dramatic monologue, an acting coach somewhere faints. If charisma or presence was currency, Gal's got a trust fund. But if acting was a currency, well, then she'll be taking out loans. She is living proof that with enough cheekbones, you can stare blankly into the void and still book 3 franchises. She could be cast as a Rock in a live-action Moana reboot, and The Rock would probably outact her. I would personally describe Gal's acting like elevator music. Technically, it's there, but nobody's feeling anything. Gal's face is so symmetrical, though, that it distracted us from the fact that she just delivers a love confession like she was reading a cereal box. The only thing she ever successfully conveys is jawline. She's not so much acting as she is existing very attractively in the frame. And if we're not talking about her limited range in facial expressions and her awful line delivery, and take into consideration her body language and movement, well, she moves like she's unsure whether her limbs are part of the contract. Gal Gadot started her acting career in Fast and Furious, where her job was to stand next to Vin Diesel, look hot, and occasionally say things like, "drive fast," with the emotional gravity of someone ordering a sandwich. Her debut in Fast and Furious was a masterclass in, "I'm not really acting, I'm just here to increase testosterone levels in the audience." And in every scene that she's in, she delivers her line with the emotional engagement of someone who just woke up from a nap and isn't sure where they are. At the start of her career, her greatest acting challenge was pretending she knew what was happening in the script. It was quite impressive, actually, because every time she had a line to deliver, she would mumble her way through it.
Want a Fox, guys? Go on then.
Like, what did she just say? I heard, "do you want to do press or do you want a grande?" Somehow, she managed to get cast as Wonder Woman. Fans were skeptical at first until she showed up on screen looking like the Greek gods had personally 3D printed her. Oh, when she walked on screen out in that armor, we suddenly all forgot that she needed to, emote. And unlike the Fast and Furious series, her performance in Wonder Woman was groundbreaking, as in she broke all the rules of acting and still got standing ovations. She played an Amazonian warrior raised on a secret island and still somehow gave the vibe of a tourist who got lost at Comic-Con. And while the film had themes of war, love, and sacrifice, Gal delivered each with the passion of someone picking what to order at a drive-thru. There's a pivotal scene in the movie where Wonder Woman sees death, destruction, and suffering, and yet Gal Gadot reacts like someone just spoiled the ending of a Netflix show.
And I believe in love.
This line delivery, "I believe in love," it should have been an emotional gut punch. Instead, it landed like a voicemail from HR. And yet, I'm sure she delivered her signature Wonder Woman pose so well throughout the whole movie that the Academy considered creating a new category, Best Standing. Let's be honest, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman's biggest superpower wasn't strength or speed. It was delivering her lines like she was under anesthesia and still somehow making it work. Gal made fighting Nazis look like a runway show at Fashion Week. Zero fear, all angles. And there is Justice League. Gal Gadot really proved that she could stand next to a green screen and pretend it was something dangerous, with the emotional intensity of a department store mannequin. Every time, Every time she gave an inspirational speech, it felt like she was reading the back of a shampoo bottle with slightly more concern. And I think Gal Gadot in Justice League has the same emotional range as Siri reading bedtime stories. Then at some point in the movie, Wonder Woman gives a heartfelt speech about unity, and it was delivered so flat that I half expected the Justice League to break into a group nap. Halfway through the movie, I started rooting for the villain because at least he had some conviction behind his dialogue. There's also that one scene too where she gently places her hand on Bruce Wayne's shoulder and says something serious. Like you can tell it's serious because she pauses for no reason in the middle of the sentence. Honestly, she could tell Batman his parents died again and still sound like she's explaining the brunch menu. And her dramatic stare into the distance lasts just long enough for you to forget what the movie was all about.
I belong to no one.
This gave off feminist icon energy, right? Except it's delivered with the kind of enthusiasm as someone saying, "No pickles, please," at the drive-thru. This could have been a line that slapped. Instead, it gently tapped us on the forehead and asked if we were still awake. Thank God there were subtitles. This was supposed to be a gut-wrenching cry, an emotional scream to stop her zombie ex from going full laser eye rage mode. Instead, it sounds like she's gently scolding her golden retriever for chewing on the couch. Literally, Superman's grappling with resurrection trauma, and she delivers this line with the same energy as someone explaining their roommate's gluten intolerance. This line should have been the emotional core of the team's mission, the moment that unites the heroes with purpose. Instead, Gal says her line like she's about to submit a mildly passive-aggressive customer service email. Oh, and we can't forget Red Notice, aka the movie where Gal Gadot plays a sultry international thief with the charisma of a luxury perfume ad and the line delivery of a sleep-deprived 5-year-old toddler. Which brings us to the part where you tell us where the third egg is. You'd think a line like this would be laced with danger, seduction, intrigue, but Gal delivers it with all the intensity of someone politely winning a game of bingo. You know, Gal Gadot as a superhero in movie doesn't really give me peace of mind because I can't even trust the girl to finish a sentence without a weird pause. Then there is her unforgettable performance in Death on the Nile. When I say unforgettable, I mean like it is so bad that I cannot burn the memory out of my brain. The movie was supposed to be a glamorous murder mystery, but the real mystery was how the hell did Gal Gadot get cast in a role that requires acting? Gal as Lynette was supposed to play a fabulous, beautiful heiress who is rich and glamorous, so basically she's playing herself, but with more eyeliner and fewer facial expressions, clearly. She delivers every line like she just downed a Benadryl cocktail and is trying not to fall asleep mid-sentence. Her acting choices are very interesting. Like when she delivers her line, "We have enough champagne to fill the Nile," somehow she paused midway through like she was buffering or like she had just remembered that she forgot to turn off the stove. And let's not forget about her latest project as the evil queen in Snow White, because I watched that too. And I can't believe that Gal Gadot got cast as the evil queen. Gal Gadot, who is a world-class beauty, a former Miss Israel, and she's currently having a very successful Hollywood career with doing absolutely nothing with her face, is here to prove yet again that charisma and cheekbones can really carry you a shockingly long way in Hollywood. This is a role that calls for madness, obsession, like theatrical flair, but with all seriousness. And they gave it to a woman who looks like she just woke up from a nap and forgot what genre she's in. You'd think with all the CGI and with Disney's massive wealth that they could have done a little magic with those vocals. But no. Instead, we got a version of the evil queen that sounds like she's trying to remember the melody while walking barefoot across Lego bricks. This is a woman whose voice usually hovers somewhere between medicated whisper and reading off cue cards taped to a distant wall. Her singing as the evil queen is less iconic Disney villain and more of like a first round American Idol audition that Simon Cowell would politely stop mid-verse. I would describe Gal Gadot's singing like a car alarm trying to hit a high note. Loud, confused, and deeply unwanted. And to be fair, her singing is totally passable at a casual karaoke night, just not in a multi-million-dollar Disney musical. Her singing as a Disney icon, I just know that somewhere Walt Disney is probably spinning so fast in his grave, he's generating renewable energy down there. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Delivered with the raw intensity of someone ordering a latte. I've seen more emotional range in Siri asking if I want updates on my phone. And what is up with her evil entrances? Every time Gal walks into a scene, the music just swells, the camera pans, and she enters like she's about to launch a new fragrance called Vengeance by Dior. But instead of fear, all I feel is secondhand embarrassment and a strong urge to moisturize. She doesn't strike terror, she strikes poses. The line, "I will be fairest of them all," is meant to ooze jealousy, ego, and possibly even madness, but Gal says it like she's mildly disappointed the spout ran out of cucumbers. There's more rage in a toddler who drops their popsicle. I've seen more intensity in shampoo commercials, and they had even better acting too. And let's talk about the casting. Her being jealous of Snow White, aka Rachel Zegler, like, ma'am, Gal Gadot being jealous of literally anyone in terms of beauty is like Beyonce being threatened by someone doing karaoke at Applebee's. Like, seriously, who at Disney, who did the casting, looked at the evil queen, this character that's supposed to be unhinged, jealous, campy, dramatic, and a huge diva, and said, you know, who has the range of a piece of toast? Let's just give her the role. And I know the evil queen is supposed to be over the top, dramatic, and a lot unhinged, but is she supposed to be this unserious? Like, you need someone who can channel full drag queen villain energy, not someone who delivers threats like she's on Ambien. Gal's out there looking like she's reading cue cards behind the mirror. Meanwhile, we're supposed to believe that she's ready to commit organ theft because a teenager was slightly cuter. Like, this casting was so bad, it feels like someone at Disney lost a bet, or owed Gal a favor, or got distracted mid-meeting by her cheekbones and just blacked out. This is probably how it went down in the casting room. Somebody said, should we cast a Broadway powerhouse? And Disney execs were like, no. Let's just cast a swimsuit model with the menace of a wet sponge. Like, really, am I the crazy one to see that in all her roles, she's not acting, she's modeling with subtitles? And you know what? I kind of think it's genius and impressive because no one remembers her lines. They just remember that she looked like an Amazonian goddess doing them. Gal Gadot is the first actress to perform entirely in one facial expressions. Joy, confusion, fear, passion, all the same face, all the same blank, ethereal, did someone fart stare. She looks like she's reacting to a confusing group chat the entire time. And personally, I think that every time she tries to cry on screen, God pauses up there and rethinks free will. Her tearful scenes are just her blinking extra slowly and breathing slightly heavier. The emotion is so subtle that it's legally invisible. Here's my final opinion, my conclusion to all of this. Do I really believe and stand on the fact that Gal Gadot deserves to be a leading lady in Hollywood? Well, yes, I do, because quite frankly, what she does is impressive. She looks like she was carved by angels who got bored of sculpting clouds. She's not just beautiful, she's divine. She's divinely inconvenient. The kind of beautiful that makes people forget how doors work. The kind of face that could stop wars or, at the very least, distract you from the fact that she just delivers a dramatic monologue with the passion of an overworked Alexa. And that in itself is a skill level way above acting, deserving of an award and a successful career in Hollywood. Let's be real, her entire brand is celestial goddess who descended from a Dior billboard. She's heavenly, ethereal, regal, elegant. She walks like she's gliding on clouds of essential oil and moonlight. And when she speaks, we try to tell her to shut up. Hey, what can I say? We as a species are shallow little gremlins. We see bone structure that could cut glass, skin that looks like it's never known a pore, and a jawline so perfect it probably has its own agent, and suddenly we're like, Oscar? Yeah, sure, give her 3. Never mind that the line delivery sounds like she's reading off a teleprompter held by a sleep-deprived intern. Never mind the tension in her performance is on par with elevator music. Nah. We don't care. We're too busy staring slack-jawed like a toddler watching fireworks for the first time. The woman, her brand, is a visual serotonin. All hail Gal Gadot. Because honestly, Gal Gadot could play a tree in a live action of Ferngully remake, and audiences would still say, she was breathtaking, so grounded, so rooted. And well, as long as the human race keeps choosing beauty over believability, Gal will keep walking slowly through movies while we clap like starstruck sea lions. And hey, before you judge us, before you judge me, can you blame me? We didn't lose to bad acting. We lost to genetics, and she won the lottery while the rest of us were still loading.